Studies have found that those receiving care in multidisciplinary settings, where all those specialists are in one place, can increase the life of a DMD patient up to 10 years. But no such place existed in the tri-state area until Portnoy brought the idea to doctors here at Stony Brook. It was just before 7 Sunday morning, police say, when Burns left the house where the party'd been, but she didn't get very far before the first crash, which happened just a short distance away down the very same street. Several trees came down in this Wonton neighborhood amid the fierce winds of the storm. If you look at the sidewalk here on J Drive, cracked wide open. And then over here, you can see the roots of this tree completely exposed. This tree fell on someone's car. Now, residents here dealing with power outages, some dealing with major cleanups. One man tells me that it looked like the sky was twisting. And the challenge isn't over. The Nassau County Police Department is challenging its recruits to do 22 push-ups for the next 22 days. And that's not all. Well, it doesn't feel as hot here as it does on other parts of Long Island, thanks to a refreshing breeze. And then there's the water. The temperatures are in the low 70s. And those things combined, well, they make Jones Beach an escape destination. It was early Tuesday afternoon when police say an employee here at Simply Natural Foods in Comac was attempting to add ingredients to a 20,000-pound tank of chocolate when he fell into the vat.
This Sunday's New York City Marathon marks the culmination of 20 weeks of training for a West Babylon woman running for a very special reason. FIOS 1's Cecilia Dowd has the story.
Paul was a great man. He was a great dad. He was fun. He always was with his kids. He always wanted to make them smile.
This Sunday marks 2 years without Sergeant Paul Tizzolo. The NYPD sergeant was shot and killed while working in the Bronx.
I think that even just putting on that uniform makes them a hero, because you're putting your life in danger. You're making a sacrifice for your family.
In memory of Sergeant Tizzolo, Anne Marie Dunn is donning her own uniform of sorts. She'll be one of the thousands taking to the streets for the New York City Marathon, her first one, exactly 24 months after those in the NYPD lost a brother. These young boys lost a father, and Lisa Tizzolo lost a husband.
I'm just thrilled and honored that, one of my closest friends wants to do something for Paul and to remember Paul.
A lot of what I do is very purposeful and meaningful.
An abundance of meaning envelops this journey for Dunn. From the tangible,
I was able to get the bib number 43870. 43 is Paul's precinct, and 870 is his badge number.
To the abstract, namely a friendship with indestructible roots.
Anne Marie and I are like sisters. She is funny, she's caring, she's warm, she's loving, and she's just a great friend to have, and I'm really lucky to have her.
The women met while working together in the West Islip School District, and the friendship grew by leaps and bounds. In the good times, they gave birth to their sons just hours apart. To the darkest time imaginable, Dunn says Sergeant Tizzolo will be on her mind as she runs each mile.
I wanted to do something to remember him and to show other people that Paul's sacrifice would not be forgotten, that he will always be remembered.
Dunn is running for the Silver Shield Foundation, an organization providing support to families who have lost a loved one to a line-of-duty death. On Sunday, Tizzolo will be there cheering on her friend and will also be pulling the cannon, seen here doing the same last year.
How are you and your boys doing?
We're doing. For us, it's tough. As surrounded as we are by thousands and thousands of people, at the end of the day, we're still alone.
Alone, but never forgotten.
I wear the patch that's close to my heart, so that way I always have something that is solid that I keep in my mind and in my heart.
Cecilia Dowd, FIOS 1 News. For years, Eileen Echeverria says she knew her brother, NYPD officer Robert Echeverria, was in trouble, and says she called on the NYPD to help.
I made the decision after my brother called me and told me he was going to kill himself or harm me. I called IAB, I emailed them. I said, my brother is suicidal. My brother's struggling. He's losing everything financially. He's not doing well. Please, please get him help.
After that attempt for help from the NYPD's Internal Affairs Bureau in mid-June, Robert Echeverria's guns were taken away, Echeverria says, but not long after, she says she got a call from a lieutenant.
These are unfounded. We've given Robert his guns back. My final words to him were, when my brother kills himself and my mother has to bury her son and those children don't have a father, this blood is on you.
Robert Echeverria shot himself to death at his Queens home on Wednesday, 2 months after Eileen Echeverria says she tried to intervene. He is the 9th member of the NYPD to commit suicide this year.
The news has been reporting that he shot himself in the head. My brother shot himself in the heart. That's somebody who's begging for help.
Echeverria says she reached out to the NYPD a half dozen times and says her brother's guns had also been taken away in 2012.
He was unraveling. He was just unraveling. He gave me his son and he said, I can't take him. You have to wait. And I put him in school here.
While Echeverria says her brother was depressed, he refused to go to a therapist.
He said to me, if I go to a therapist, I'm going to lose my job. I'm going to lose or they're going to put me in desk duty. I'm going to lose overtime. I can't afford to live.
Echeverria says she wants change. She wants those suffering to be able to get the help they need.
If I have to sleep on Gracie Mansion's doorstep, I am going to have my day with de Blasio.
Echeverria says she has good memories with her brother when they were kids and says she has memories of always trying to be there for him. We reached out to the NYPD for a response to these accusations. We were told by a spokesperson that they're conducting an investigation. Reporting from West Islip, Cecilia Dowd, FiOS 1 News. The Nassau County Police Department was handed a monumental task, preparing for potentially thousands of protesters, while also tasked with keeping both candidates safe and with just 2 months to do it. Now, in today's story, you'll see how cops on foot and on bicycles have been preparing for large crowds. The 2016 presidential election is already one for the books, and it's one most members of the Nassau County Police Department will never forget.
This is probably one of the most significant security events, arguably the most significant security event, as long as I've been a cop on this job.
From escorting the candidates to monitoring protesters, no job on Monday at Hofstra University will be insignificant. The police commissioner says planning for this year's debate was more complex than ever before because of the world we're living in. Now keep in mind that normally the department would have about a year to prepare, but this year the police only had 2 months. Acting Nassau County Police Commissioner Thomas Crumpter says the department is prepared for a crowd in excess of 10,000 in the free speech area alone. That's why this training matters.
Today's exercise is part of our mobilization field force formations. For any emergency or act of civil disobedience, we may need to formulate a plan and have a response that's accurate and quick.
In this drill, police are practicing clearing an area. The most effective way to do that, says Lieutenant William Leahy, is to first give a warning, offering an opportunity to move. Move back, move back. And then this is a non-compliance drill.
We try to use the most effective, humane means possible to remove them from an area where it presents a danger to themselves or others, so we can pick them up, effectively move them to an area of safety, and then move forward with the rest of the day.
On debate day, not every officer will be on foot. These cops will be on bicycles.
Bikes are huge. You can have a group of 30 bikes and people will come back and say, oh, probably 150 bikes out there.
Officer Jason Sepulveda, an instructor at the police academy, gave a refresher course to cops who are bicycle certified. He explains why bikes are invaluable tools.
Maneuverability, ease of use. You can see over crowds, you can see over people because you're sitting at a higher level than they are. You can get through the crowds a lot easier than, say, a radio motor patrol car would. And you can quietly sneak up on somebody if somebody's up to no good. You can silently approach them, and before they know it, you're on top of them.
The training included balance courses and obstacle courses like this one, going up over platforms. It may look effortless, but I can tell you none of this is easy. I tried. The bike can also act as a barricade, says Sepulveda, protecting the police officer if needed.
Our primary objective here is to provide for the security of the candidates and all those who are attending the event, whether they're the protesters, whether they're the observers at the debate. And in a perfect world, everybody goes home and there's no issues. Nobody gets arrested, nobody gets hurt.
Today you saw cops on bicycles. Tomorrow I'll show you how police officers on motorcycles have been training for Monday. They'll be escorting the candidates. I also spent some time with the mounted unit as members of BSO, the Bureau of Special Operations, trained with other police officers who will be keeping the area safe while on horseback. I'm Cecilia Dowd with FiOS 1 News.